Here's your Jam Radio news update.
Montserrat's former premier, Donaldson Romeo, has accused the British government of perpetuating modern-day colonialism by denying full citizenship rights to Montserratians born abroad. In a powerful intervention, Romeo condemned the UK's failure to resolve nationality inequalities affecting British Overseas Territories citizens, calling it a constitutional disgrace that undermines the very principles of British democracy. His remarks come amid growing pressure for legislative reform and reparative justice across the Caribbean, after a British Overseas Territories citizen connected to Montserrat has been denied NHS care in the UK, echoing the horrors of the Windrush Scandal.
Once again, I'm in a Windrush situation that I shouldn't be in. I shouldn't be awake at night thinking, oh my God, we've got a Home Office secretary that's going to actually look to throw me out of a country that I call home if I can't prove.
Victims of the Windrush Scandal had their first opportunity to speak face-to-face with the newly appointed Windrush Commissioner at a meeting on Tuesday, hosted by Action for Race Equality. JamRadio captured some of the concerns from victims who have been put through decades of suffering by the Home Office and are once again worried by the persistent failure of the compensation scheme to offer what was promised, and by the mood of immigration in the UK and the direction the government is heading.
The new Home Secretary, her rhetoric has been that of reform. Up until yesterday and today, she speaks of a rhetoric which should frighten every Windrush victim, because we're still trying to get status, and she is talking about taking away status. There's a problem there.
Chris has lived in the UK since the age of 3. His father worked as a diplomat at the Nigerian embassy in London. This meant that Chris was completely exempt from UK immigration control and should have been granted permanent settlement when he turned 18. But decades of hostile immigration policy, which led to the Windrush Scandal, left him in limbo. And once again, Chris is rightly worried. He has put those worries directly to the Windrush Commissioner.
I don't sleep at night because I have an indefinite leave to remain, even though I've been in this country for 49 years without leaving. So that scares me, because that's my whole life. But you, as the commissioner, I feel you should have immediately jumped on her and said, wait, I've got victims who will be re-traumatized by that kind of talk, by that kind of rhetoric. Victims will be worried that they will go through Windrush again.
7 years since the government first apologised and promised to right the wrongs. Chris says he can't sleep, as he has not yet been given British citizenship, despite being in the UK for 49 years and has never left. Chris says the government is literally following Nigel Farage down the rabbit hole of far-right rhetoric after the new Home Secretary, Shabana Mahmood, recently began echoing the policies of Reform UK as if they were her own.
We saw Theresa May and Amber Rudd come in and change the legislation, just tweak it, just a little. And in that little tweak, we're sitting in Windrush.
That's it for your Jam Radio news update. Stay tuned for more great music and news updates throughout the day.